Welcome to this week's Cattle Call. I'm Susan Littlefield here on the Rural Radio Network. Another interesting week. The South caved. They went for steady money, but how does that affect our producers in the North when it comes to the sale of cattle? We're going to look at a talk of First Notice Day. Of course, we've got higher box beef prices. How long can this happen? The big drop that was seen in the open interest, the global uncertainties, so many factors affecting the way these cattle are trading today. Not to mention, it's spring, though it might not feel like it this week. We know that folks are starting to think more about doing some grilling. We're going to take a look at this and a whole lot more today with Brad Koima. As you can see, he is on the screen with me from Koima and Varlick out of Sioux Center, Iowa. So let's talk about this cash. Should it come as a surprise that the South has caved a little early this week?
Well said, Susan. Actually, I think that's pretty much says it. I'm disappointed. I thought that with these improving packer margins, strength in the meat, ability to kill big, that maybe they would, and the basis too. I mean, we come in this morning with the April cattle on top of 141. I thought they'd maybe hold for a little more, so I was disappointed too. I don't know. The trade I think is maybe significant enough that that's going to be it. I don't think it was an overwhelmingly large change at 138, but I was really hoping that they would be just a little more arch in their back. I had thought that the North was going to trade cattle at 141 to 142, and the South maybe closer to 140. Now that online auction that they have, most all those asking prices down there were 140, and they got passed. So at least there's some of them that are showing some resolve down there. But I think that contributed in a large way why the April cattle were so soft today. I mean, 70 lower, I guess, isn't the end of the world. 72 lower, but with the 138 cash and with First Notice Day coming around the corner here, options go off Friday, and we can start delivering on Monday. I suppose there's a little worry that same culprit down there in Friona might, think it was worth delivering a few loads of cattle, so the long scamper out of the way. Then, I'm really not ready to give up. I'm really not that bearish. I still believe the next 30 to 45 days have extremely tight numbers in the North, Susan, particularly in my area. We've pulled the yearlings ahead because of the good weather. The calves aren't fat yet, and you mentioned the strength in the beef. That's going to keep up. In fact, I think there's a significant up in the beef coming between now and Father's Day, but especially in the next 30 to 45 days. So I really think if we could just have a little more resolve here at the feedlot level, that we could move this cash market a little bit higher.
Is the North, though, are you going to see them kind of try to hold on this week for hopes of getting to see some higher bids?
Well, I know what the show lists are here, and they're so small that, the sentiment I'm getting from the producers here is like, if I can't get 142, I'll wait till next week. And it's nice when you're that current, and nice when you have a bit of, you don't have to just cave so easily. So, I think we'll either have a very light trade, or we'll get the cash market to come by Friday, and then we'll have a little deeper trade.
Box beef, you did talk about them being a little bit higher this week, kind of setting the tone. Is this a trend we're going to see, hopefully, for the next couple weeks?
Yes, and one of the most reliable trends there is, Susan, as you start moving toward better weather and toward Mother's Day, toward grill out, cook, all that stuff. Yes, I think I can say with a very high level of confidence that I would expect boxes to move higher. I think we can actually get boxes almost back to the 300 level, and it's at about 265 or 6 right now. The one thing I can't think of much positive to say about COVID at all. But the one thing that we saw changed in the demand sector after COVID was, I think we found out, we trained a consumer, the consumer learned, let me put it a little more subtly, that they can cook a steak at home, and it's pretty good. In fact, it's real good. And they could probably do that twice for going out to eat once. So as we move that demand out of that HR trade into a little more of the traditional, domestic retail, whatever you want to call it, consumption, I'm anxious to see when we get back to warmer weather, whether you're not going to see even a bigger boost in the middle meats than what we might have expected.
So having said that, what are we going to see meat counter wise as folks watch the increase in their food costs and everything? What is the meat counter going to have to do to fight for that money?
Yeah, and their gas bill and all the rest, right? I
Right.
mean, it's a very real deal, and it seems like elastic demand for beef, especially the steak type cut, has always been part of our deal as long as I've been in this business, and I suppose that'll continue. Now, having said that, though, like when I read the retail ads, and I do that every week, across the 11 big cities, for the most part, you can buy a ribeye almost everywhere for under $10 a pound. I think it'll move there. I think the thing we got to kind of dial down on, and let's watch this hamburger thing. There's some places where this hamburger is just horrendously high priced, and unfairly so, especially with the kind of cow kill we've had. I hope they get that in line, get that price back into what seems to me at least to be more fair. But $6-7 hamburger just to me is out of line. If you're paying that, go find one of your local farmers, see what they'll sell you the hamburger for. I think you'll find out it's a lot more competitive than what you're doing in a retail store. But I do believe that generally speaking, demand is still extremely good, both domestically and globally. So I don't want to be misunderstood there. But and what they had that stuff priced at during the height of COVID was wrong. And at least we're getting back into a more in line situation there, Susan.
All right, sounds good. Look forward to catching up with you next week.
Sounds good to me too. Sorry about last week.
Hey, things happen. Hey, that has been this week's Cattle Calls. We always want to remind folks commodity futures and options do involve a substantial risk of loss and aren't suitable to all investors. And that's been the Cattle Call next week from the Nebraska State FFA Convention. I'm Susan Littlefield on the Rural Radio Network.